Wow, I loved how creative the character in the story was when it came to creating artwork, but using all different materials. I wanted to start the year reading this story since we're not all here at school in the art room. You might not have all the supplies we normally have when we make art, but that's okay. The character in the story at the very end didn't have anything but light, and she used her hands to make shadows on the wall. That can be art too. So for our first project, I want everybody to make a piece of art using things that are not usually art supplies. So we're not going to be drawing and coloring and painting on paper. We're going to try and use something new. It could be something you find outside. It could be something that's recycled or something else. But we want to use it in a new way to still make art. Try to spend at least 10 minutes making your art project, and then you can send me a picture. I'll show you how in a little bit. I'm also going to show you a few examples to get you started. I'm going to use things that I have that are not usually art supplies, and I'm going to try to make art with them. All right, for my first example, I'm going to use cardboard, string, and glue. So I'm starting by drawing a picture with my glue. I'm choosing to draw a picture of a person. And then with my pieces of string, I'm going to lay it in the glue. And then I found a pair of scissors so I could cut the strings to the right size. If you don't have string, you could use something else like Q-tips or toothpicks, or maybe you have sand in a sandbox you could lay in the glue. And then here's my finished artwork. Here's an artwork with things I found outside. I picked some dandelions, some other flowers. I found pine cones and pine needles on the ground, and then I arranged them in a new design to create outside artwork. For my next example, I'm starting with cardboard and scissors. I'm cutting my piece of cardboard into different shapes. Be careful when you're using your scissors, especially if you're cutting something that's a little bit thicker like cardboard. You might need a parent's help for this step. After I cut all my different shapes, I started arranging them in a design that I thought looked nice. So here I am kind of putting the shapes in the spots I think look nice. Then I decided to take it a step further, and I grabbed markers and I decided to color some of the shapes and put designs on some of the shapes. Here's my finished artwork. Alright, for this next project I'm starting with a piece of Styrofoam. This is just recycled that used to have food on it, a pencil and tin foil. So I cut a piece of the foam and I'm drawing with the pencil on it. It kind of carves into the foam so I can feel it. It kind of feels bumpy. Then I'm cutting a piece of the tin foil and I'm wrapping the foil around it, and then I'm using the side of my finger to rub the foil so all those bumpy lines show. I could have stopped, but I decided to use some permanent markers to color it too. For this next example, I'm going to use a lot of little pieces of something. So maybe you have little stones or little wood chips that you get from outside, and I'm going to use those little pieces to make a bigger picture. Now, something that I have a lot of little pieces of are little pieces of crayons or broken crayons that I have from last year. Now, crayons are a normal art supply, but I'm not using them in a normal way. Remember, for this project, we want to use something in a new way. I'm not coloring with these crayons. I'm making a picture with them by laying them out in a new design. So I'm going to do that now. Let's see. All right, now that you've seen some of my examples, it's time for you to make your own art project using things that are not usually art materials, or using art materials in a different way. Remember, for this project, I want you to spend about 10 minutes making your artwork, and then you can upload it here so I can see a picture. The next video below will show how you could upload your artwork to Schoology so I can see it.